Okay, okay, Leon. Excuse me. I'm here for math today, and we're going to look at a line plot and a bar graph. Now, I do not think you've ever done a line plot. You've never done one with me, so I don't know if you've done one somewhere else. But a line plot is very easy to do, very easy to understand. So let's look at the first part. We're on this page here. It says, complete the tally chart. Use a tally chart to make a line plot and a bar graph. So we have to complete the tally chart first. It says our birthday months. All right, now this is supposing you're in a big class of children and you could go around and you could ask them, how many children have a birthday in January? And they would raise their hand and you would put that many tally marks. How many people have a birthday in February? You would put that many tally marks. So I made up the information since we are at home and there's only one in your class. There are going to be 19 people in this class. 19 people. Alright, so in January, let's say there's one blue mark. Be sure you do it in blue if you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. In February, none. In March, put 2 purple marks. 2 purple marks. In April, put 3 pink marks. There's 3 that have a birthday in April, 3 people. May, there's no birthdays in May. In June, there's 1 green birthday in June. In July, there's 1 dark green birthday. If you don't have markers, just put 1 mark in July. September, there's 2 peach color marks. October, there's none. November, there are 4 orange marks. 4 orange tally marks. And in December, there are 5 red tally marks. Alright, so look at this. Be sure that your tally chart looks like this. Okay, you need to pause the video if you rerun it just a little bit and pause it and be sure that you have that on there. Because that is how we're going to do the rest of this. So if we wanted to compare the data and see who had the birthdays in the most months, it would be hard looking at the tally chart. You'd have to count it up. And you will have to count up on the next one, but it's just a little bit easier to see. So what we do is we go back and we say, okay, well, how many tally marks are in January? There's 1 blue mark. So I'm going to put 1 blue dot on the January line plot. Okay? In February, I did not have any birthdays, so I'm not going to put anything on February. In March, I had 2 purples. So how many dots am I going to put in March? 1, 2. So I've got 2 on this chart and 2 on my tally chart, so that matches. In April, I had 3 birthdays, so I'm going to put 1, 2, 3 dots in April. How many am I going to put in May? None. How many am I going to put in June? 1 dot in June. 1 dot in June. Whoa. 1 dot in June. How many am I going to put in July? How many tally marks do I have in July? I have 1. So I'm going to put 1 dark green dot. Alright, how many are in August? 0. So I put nothing on August. How many are in September? 2. So I'm going to put 2 dots in September. I'm sure you get the picture. How many in October? None. How many in November? 4 orange dots. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the biggest one yet. And how many tally marks in December? 5. So how many dots are going to be on December? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I've got to match however many tally marks. And that's how you do a line plot. So we just scan across here. Which one has the most? December. Alright. Now we are going to do the bar graph. A bar graph is a different way to look at data. You have done bar graphs when you're doing your speed drill chart. You just color up to the number. So in January, we're going to color one square up to 1 blue. Okay, you see that? February, there's none, so I'm not going to color any. In March, there were up to 2, so I'm going to mark the line at 2, like this, and I'm just going to color it in. All right, how many were in April? 3, so I'm going to color up to 3. Color it in. Boop. This is how you do a bar graph. You color up to the number. May, there weren't any, so June, there was 1. So I'm going to color 1. July, there was 1, so I'm going to color 1. August, there were none. September, there were 2. I get to go back up to 2. So this is just a different way to look at data. Data is information that you gather. It can be on anything. This one is on birthdays. October has none. November has 4. So I'm going to go up to 4. I'm going to color them in. And then December has 5. So I'm going to color 5. That's your mama texting me. She said, Cash loves the You Forgive Me song. I love that song too. All right. Now, this is what my bar graph looks like. So all I have to do is I have to just read where it stops. So it stopped at 3. I know you're familiar with bar graphs because we've been doing it on our speed drills. All right, now let's look at the questions. So we've got a tally chart, we've got a line plot, and a bar graph. Which one do you like the best? I think the easiest one to read may be, I don't know, it might be the tally chart. Because the bar graph, you got to stare at it and go across. The dots, you just got to count them all. So that takes a while. The tally marks, I kind of know what they are. It says, what data did you collect? Okay, what did we collect? Birthday months. Birthday months. That's the data. That's the information we gathered. Which month has the most birthdays? December, that's right. How many students have birthdays in June? 1. Can you determine whose birthday is in each month? No, there's no names, so we don't know who is who. Because it doesn't tell Leon, Braylon, Micaiah, Channing, Ace, Emerson. It doesn't have names, so we don't know whose is whose. So we're going to circle no. Why or why not? There are no names. Write it down. There are no names. Number 8. Can you determine how many students are in your class? What do you think? Can you determine that? Yes, you can, because you can count up every tally mark and you can add it up. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 14 plus 5 is 19. So there are 19 people in this class. All you got to do is count up the number of people who recorded the data. And if they recorded it, it's shown by a mark. So I'm going to say yes. Because there's a 1 mark for each person. There is 1 mark for each person. Write that down. There is 1 mark for each person. Okay? If you don't have it, you can pause the video. Now let's see what's on the back. Probably going to be the same thing again. All right, we've got a story problem. Read the story problem out loud as I read it. Mr. Olson's third grade class made a line plot to show the number of books each student read. Each X represents one student. All right, so let's just take a minute and look at the line plot. How many students read one book? There's one X, so one student read one book. How many students read two books? 1, 2, 3. How many students read 3 books? 1, 2 X's. How many students read 4 books? No students. How many students read 5 books? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 students read 5 books. That's a lot. How many students read 6 books? 1, 2 students read 6 books. 1 student read 7 books, and 2 students read 8 books. All right, so how many students read 5 books? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 students read 5 books. What was the greatest number of books read by a student? What's the biggest number of books on this line plot chart? Remember, on the bottom it tells you how many books were read. So 8. How many students read fewer than 4 books? So it's got to be before the 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a dotted line around everything before 4. You see? Everything before 4, not including 4. And I'm going to count up everything in that dotted line box. Okay? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, it says how many students read fewer than 4 books? That would be 6. How many students in Mr. Olson's class read books? So we're going to have to count all of the X's because each X represents one student. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There are 16 X's, so there are 16 students that read books. Okay? And let's use the bar graph and let's answer questions about the bar graph. So we've got Aaron. These are baskets made. I think these are like playing basketball because it says players, so they're not actually making baskets. They're throwing a ball into the basket. So how many people made 5 baskets? Nobody. All right, how many baskets did Aaron throw? 1, 2, 3, 4. He did 4 baskets. Brad, he did 3. Joel didn't ever make any. And Lucas made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He made 5 baskets. So it's got one slot above the 5, but there's no number on it. What would it actually be? If you went to the very top, it would be 6. So nobody made 6 baskets. Lucas did make 5. Who only made 3 baskets? Write it down. Who made the most baskets? Write it down. Oh, excuse me. How many baskets did Aaron and Lucas make together? So I'm going to circle Aaron's baskets and Lucas's baskets. And you have to add them up. Okay? You have to add those two together. Can you determine how many times each player attempted to make a basket? Is this a chart of attempted tries or baskets that were made? It is not a chart of attempts. So it didn't record that data. We don't know. So no. There is no data, whichever way you say it. There is no data. There's no data for that. It doesn't give us any data. No information. On the bottom, it's greater than, less than, or equal to. Mark it out. You already know that. There's no need for you to do that. All right, so it's a pretty easy day, but you did learn something new. All of this data gathering, it is leading up to a type of mathematics called statistics. And a lot of people don't like statistics, and some people do like statistics, and they use it, one field they use it in is insurance companies. So what they do is they gather information on wrecks. because they have to pay you when you wreck, because you pay them each month a certain amount. We'll just say like $200 each month. You pay them $200, and if you have a wreck, they have to replace your car. And you're like, well, how is that even possible? Because they have taken data. They've done the information on how many people are in the United States, how many people have wrecks each year, and they know that more people do not have wrecks. And so if everybody's paying you $200 and only a few of you have wrecks, they're making a lot of money. So they take data, and they take data on your age. How many males who are 18 to 25 have wrecks? And they found out that a lot of people, males especially, 18 to 25 have wrecks. So when you are a male and your age is 18 to 25, your insurance is high, because they know by statistics that most males 18 to 25 have a wreck. So you have to pay a lot of insurance. And the funny thing is, if you have a wreck, your insurance goes up. So they keep a lot of data and they use a lot of these charts. So they're just introducing it to you. All right, the next thing we've got to do is our multiplication practice. So I will see you in just a minute.